be fine.
Okay. Now, I don't want you to mention any names, but obviously you've been you know, fighting the system for a couple of years. Do you think that what do you think the motive is for them coming after you? Do you think initially it was just kind of greed with you know, Newt Frazier and Julia Kraft just trying to make some money by acting unethically for the ex-husband, and then afterwards, do you think it was retaliation for you for complaining to the TV station about how your son was treated by the Wichita School District?
I believe it was a combination of the greed, power, abuse of power. I do believe also my race played a part in it.
Okay.
I also wrote the administrator of disciplinary office, and I had reported Julia Kraft and Newt Frazier and Mr. Donald Trovick. So,
and that all happened before the bomb incident?
Yes.
Okay. And the bomb incident happened before the parking lot incident?
Yes.
And the parking lot incident happened before the arrest for supposedly pointing the gun at the dad?
Yes.
But the consistent thing that has been consistent, you know, over the last years is that your son's been physically abused by his father, and no one really did anything to protect him.
No.
Other than you, I mean, but...
And I have been criticized by the courts for even mentioning my concerns for my son's health and welfare.
Okay. And without getting into any details, do you think that, and what I mean by this is, don't have to really give a time frame or a history, but this bomb incident happened near the end of the school year, is that correct?
October,
okay.
October 2007.
Okay, and prior to that, and after that, had you gotten good ratings or any kind of recognitions as an employee of the school district?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what was your job for the Wichita School District?
I was a paraprofessional.
Okay, and in that position, had you ever been put into a position where you went above and beyond the call of duty by like teaching 15 kids and serving in a teacher's position?
Yes, I did. I had to. Yes, I did.
Okay, but when this bomb incident occurred, which appears to have been the excuse for the guardian ad litem to take away your residential custody,
yes,
and send your son to a certain suburban school district,
yes,
Muvane. You complained about that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And how did you complain?
I had would you re-ask? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, did you go to the media?
Oh yes, definitely. After the way they treated my son, I contacted Cake News.
Because they basically...
I'm sorry, it was Channel 3 News I contacted, but it was the...
Did you contact Channel 3 first?
It was on all of the news channels.
It was on all three.
The actual bomb that happened.
Okay.
But I contacted Channel 3 News, and Channel 3 aired my story.
Channel 3 did.
That they did.
Do you remember the reporter or... That's okay if you don't.
But they did, the news did say that I was outraged because the district didn't even bother to thank my son. Instead, they suspended him and expelled him.
Because some kid gave him something he carried around for 2 hours he showed it to his dad when his dad picked him up at school, and
this boy had carried this item around for 2 weeks.
For 2
showing
weeks.
That was on the news, for showing it 2 weeks, showing it to all the other students too.
So really, there probably could have been some other classmates that carried it around for an hour or two.
Oh, seriously, yes. I
It's possible. Okay.
Yes, he was sharing it with the other kids as well.
Okay. Now, so that explains why there was a series of retaliation. But how has this affected your career with USD 259? What happened after you complained to the news media?
They started to harass me. I dealt with constant harassment on my job, to the point where I was deliberately, they did it under the veil of Reconstruction, but I'd been at Meade Middle School for 6 years, and they had sent me, I was being taught by other paras that I would be at the high school, basically, changing diapers and any toilet problems with the SMDs, which stands for severely mentally disabled.
Okay, so prior to this, you were basically performing a lot of the same functions as a degreed special ed teacher, as far as working with large groups of kids, teaching them, and then you got transferred to South High and basically became like a nurse's aide, basically.
Yes, in fact, even two of the students that I had, the district pays them for their personal care of their students, but the teachers even went to the point of relieving the nurses of the duties and told them that was my job.
Now, were you physically able to perform this kind of, what's involved? Does it involve picking up kids that could be heavy?
Yes, definitely trying to get them on the
changing table? Or?
Potty chair.
Okay.
A very young-minded, sweetheart girl. She had the mind of a 9-month-old, and she couldn't walk.
Right.
She couldn't talk. She couldn't feed herself, and the teachers decided she was going to have me. They were going to add toilet training. So then I had to learn how to try to lift her to get her lifted up out of her wheelchair. She wore braces, and then the nurse, first time she was showing me how to do it, and the next time I told her I still needed her help, and she accidentally dropped her on me. She said it was an accident, but she told me that she had instructions from the teacher that she was no longer supposed to help me. I was supposed to do it on my own. And yes, I let Ed, he was a special ed teacher, I let him know, I don't remember his last name. I let Pam, she was also a special ed teacher, and I let Mrs. Carla Letty, I let them know that it was hurting my back. And the principal had told me that if I didn't continue to lift, that I was going to be written up that following Monday for insubordination. So anyway, I continued to lift, and my back just got worse.
Okay.
And when I went and told one of my supervisors my back was hurting, he told me his back hurts too. That's just part of the job. And then even the other nurses started to they would kind of mock me. Like one of them would say, "Can you hand me that cup?" And then the other would say, "Oh, I can't. My back, my back, my back."
Okay.
But I ended up.
So there was some harassment that was going on.
Right.
And how many years had you worked for the school district before you were transferred over to South High?
South High was my 10th year.
Your 10th year. And prior to that, you never had to basically lift up adult kids to change diapers or anything.
Never. I had no training whatsoever.
And so they transfer you over there, give you a job that you really weren't physically capable of doing, and then they decided to, after you got there, to change the procedures to where the nurses that were doing it before would no longer be doing it.
Right. I think, I just personally feel that their goal was to humiliate me and to laugh at me and tell everybody, guess what job Miss Rader has now.
Right.
Ha ha ha.
But they were also trying to get you to quit, though.
They were
weren't
trying to force me to quit. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, final question, or
But I did go to I went to Wesley, and they diagnosed me with a back injury.
Okay.
And then I went to Dr. Pedro Marati, and he diagnosed me with several injuries.
Okay, from the heavy lifting. Okay.